Alright everybody, welcome to another edition of my Fantastic Homes of Tamriel. Today I'm going to be taking you through Tessari Vaz's Strident Springs house. We're all loaded in here, so this is the very entrance. And if you know anything about this house already, you know that the yard is this big, beautiful, open yard. Which you can see it is not. It is still very beautiful, what we're seeing right here. But we're seeing that the yard is largely closed off by this cave that's been set up. It looks like the cave is using the volcanic rock, newly added with Vardenfell and Morrowind update. We've got some Colovian projection crystals here for some purple light. We've got these Tanzawul stones here for some yellow. We've got this tree kind of highlighting the center of this closed-in sort of courtyard here. And if we look up, we can see a few dream shards spotting the foliage, which creates some interesting hues and some variance. It almost looks like a sort of like rainbow tree. So it's a really cool, really nice effect there. Very well done. And over this way we see some glow bushes flanking this statue here, and see more lights around us, and again looking above into the plant life that's set up there. We've got a bunch of dream shards spotting it, and it's just creating a really neat lighting effect. So that's very, very cool. We're going to take a look now up in the tower. And up here in the tower, we see that 3 out of the 4 sides of the tower are blocked off in much the same fashion that most of the outdoors is. And I think the real point and purpose here is that while the courtyard is beautiful from the side you're meant to see it, it probably is not so beautiful looking over it and seeing the backside of all the rocks and the backside of all those plants and everything. With item limits and whatnot, it's extremely difficult to make both sides look good and still have room to do things. So I think this was a very good call. And whether or not that was a motivating factor or not, this looks great, and you're getting a nice view of Reaper's March out there. I believe you can actually, more or less, we're looking, I believe we're overlooking Ralka, if I'm not mistaken. So that's really cool. Not a lot, I mean, aside from the blocking things off and kind of continuing with the theme up here, there's not a lot going on. There doesn't need to be a lot either, though. Everything here is neatly placed. So without any more time, we'll head back down and explore the other part of the outdoors. Something we didn't notice passing the first time, we've got a lantern hanging out of this tree here, actually on either side. Actually, it looks like that's probably a street light set into the tree. Really interesting choice, and I rather like it. So heading out here now, it's a little bit more, feels a little bit more open here. We kind of sort of leave the cave, but not really. Actually, we look, and the cave's all around us still. But so anyhow, we've got you know, more stones of various colors lighting things up for us. Continue to see the theme of the little dream shards up above, and we've got a sort of decorative anchor here. Calling it a decorative anchor because there's no way that an anchor would get here sort of I don't want to say naturally, because anchors themselves aren't natural, but this is clearly a closed off body of water where an anchor of this magnitude would not find its way any way other than very much intentionally. And we got some nice coral, and these wedding blossoms floating in the water here are a nice touch. And back here, I think this is definitely worth noting. These hammocks that are set up are actually 2 wood elf thrones. Very carefully placed and joining together. I think this is, well, this is definitely the best use of wood elf thrones I've ever seen. It's just a really good visual, and it's just good. It's just really good. And we've got these blue Telvanni light sitting above here. A little unsure how I feel about the blue Telvanni light, just because um, it it's a kind of an organic light, and it appears to be growing out of the lattice. I feel like if it were set into a bit more plant life, I'd feel more comfortable with it. But aside from that, it does, aside from looking at it a little too technically, it does look good. And kind of the same thing going on over here. It's sort of just, in this case, it's not even like, it's just floating. It's a little bit weird, but again, very nice hammock work. Just really careful placement on the items. It just looks really good. So that's that's the outside here, which was absolutely gorgeous. So we're gonna head on to the interior. Well, actually, we're gonna make our way towards the interior, but we're gonna stop at this fountain here. So this is a fountain. It's from the Vardenfell achievement vendor. I believe it's 50,000 gold. We've got some ivy growing on it. We've got some dream shards set into it, and it looks like we've got a bit of yellow. Oh, the yellow light is actually coming off this tangible stone here, which I believe comes from the Aradon achievement vendor. And again, we see the continued theme of dream shards in the foliage above. Okay. And we'll head on inside now. And immediately, just more gorgeous going on in the inside here. So we walk in and we look around, and we've got ivy and plants all around us. We've got a grill going on here, skooma bubbler. We got some paintings on the wall that are nicely placed. And this here is an aquarium. As you can see, we got some fish which are floating. We have to imagine that there's water in there. There's no way to, unfortunately, just add water in the game. The fish are placed, honestly, in a very believable fashion. These fish, they come from, fishing, and generally speaking, they look pretty dead. But the way they're placed in this particular scenario, unless you get up close to them, they really legitimately look pretty live to me. I think Tessari Vaz did a really nice job placing the fish, and everything in this aquarium in general is just very nicely placed, very well thought out. And above, we're seeing the backside, or underside more accurately, of glass crystals, which come from the Vardenfell achievement vendor, and we'll be getting a look at the top side of them later when we go upstairs. To the right here, we notice this room has a door on it. Doors are kind of not exactly a thing. So this is kind of a bit of custom work here. I don't actually know what the wooden chunk of the door itself is, but I can tell you that the doorknobs are 2 inkwells set on either side of the door. Makes for a very convincing doorknob, which I think is just brilliant. And in here, we've got a kind of a custom-built Dwemer distiller with a keg set into it, and we get a bucket there to catch stuff. I was in here with a friend the other day looking at this, and my friend said to me that who in the world would put a bucket under there? She was insistent that there should be I forgot what it was called, but not a bucket anyway. You don't distill your booze into a bucket. That's just barbaric. Anyhow, so the rest of the sort of brewery area here, we've got kind of keg on a rack. We've got some sacks of things here and barrels of plums here. And one of the neater things here is the kegs set into the wall over the counter here. I think that's really great. It looks really good. and the implication of just kind of this like massive serving area is really cool. I would have liked to see like a few like goblets or mugs kind of chilling out under the taps. However, this house is reasonably large and only has a 600 item limit, so I can see where it was probably just a matter of having to choose that or something else further down the line. So I can forgive that, even though I really want to see that. Just chalk it up to the system. So we'll take a look now at the rest of this main room. Not a ton going on. We've got a nice triptych here on the wall. Those can be hard to find, and sometimes when you find them they can't be laundered and then therefore can't be used to decorate, which is always a sad thing. But this house has one, and it's nicely placed and it looks great. We've got a little kind of counter bar type sitting area for a couple people here. Not a lot going on in this corner, simply a couple floor sconces. And over here we've got another grill set up, another skooma bubbler. Nice little sitting area with some plant life and another triptych on the wall there. And that's going to do it for the downstairs. There is the backyard we could look at, but I'm going to save that for the end. We're going to head upstairs now. And here we've got a nice little kind of desk setup to work at. It's kind of interesting because this piece isn't strictly speaking a desk. It's a counter, but it works well in this application. It looks well. Actually, I mean, it really could be a counter, and a person could be sitting there doing kind of work you might do at a counter. Okay, and we got the bookcase, and we've got plant life everywhere. Lots of plant life. I think a lot of the most talented, creative decorators who achieve like the most beautiful results use a ton of plants. I think beauty can be achieved without plants. However, those who know how to use plants can do so to just brilliant effect. Again, some more plant life, bench, with bookcase, and we got the Herstein statue here. And now we're seeing, as I said before, we're seeing the top side of the glass crystals that were used for the aquarium. And the top side works really great here. It kind of serves as grass in the imagery here. And it's also kind of flashy. And we've got some nice lighting effects going on with the statue. I believe we've got a dream shard set into the rock above it, which is casting a lot of the blue light down that we're seeing. And I would say that given the way the light's casting, that there's another dream shard hidden probably towards the bottom of the statue. Possibly a couple dream shards hidden towards the bottom of the statue. Dream shards and other light sources are really great for creating interesting lighting effects. If it's something you haven't already played with and you really want to kick your decorating up a notch, I strongly suggest the dream shards, especially because they're pretty much like the smallest of the colored light sources. So they're really easy to put into things or near things in such a way that you don't necessarily see the dream shard, but you see the effect of the dream shard, and it can do some really cool things. So normally we have a couple rooms here. Again, calling back to the item limit, I have no doubt at all that this house is at item limit, and this house got to item limit before these rooms were kind of decided. So Tesari has very wisely chosen to block them off, and has done so tastefully with two well-constructed doors. Again, as with before, I don't know at all what the doors themselves are. However, the best guess I have, and this is thanks to the friend that I toured the house with, is that the handles on these doors are from a large wood elf pot of some sort. It's like a leg or a handle to the pot. Again, it's just a guess. In any case, whatever it is, it's brilliant. It looks totally believable as like a handle / knocker. So it's really good work there. The bookcase here, painting there. And over here we've got a couple pillows chilling there and some candles. Not a lot going on. And then we got the Vivek bed here with the wedding lantern above and some ivy. Simple, but very nice. Looks great right there. So that's going to do it for the interior. We have a little bit of exterior left. I'm going to hop in here because I know I can fall through. And we're going to head to the backyard. So in the backyard, immediately we see this very brightly lit hot tub. This is a Vivek's divination pool. This obviously came in the Vivek furniture pack that was a limited time thing on the Crown store. We've got the Redguard arched bench. Actually, we see 3 of them. Kind of an interesting, almost optical illusion. The way the benches are configured, the 2 benches that are up top housing these blue mushroom arrangements appear to be smaller than the central one housing the pool. However, there's not different sizes of the benches. They are, in fact, all the same size. The configuration simply makes them appear larger or smaller. I think that's very well done. And if you haven't already noticed, the roof of this area is just a big, giant mushroom. There's not a lot of good uses for big, giant mushrooms. However, I think this use was absolutely brilliant. It works extraordinarily well. This whole area looks really, really great. And it's really amazing. You can see the Telvanni lantern in there. Our camera is actually clipping out of the mushroom, so we can see some other stuff that we shouldn't be able to, but that's no fault of the decorator. These larger glass crystals here, accenting the center of the mushroom. Just very beautiful work. So anyway, that is the end of this tour. We have seen all of Tsarivas's Strident Springs house. I think it's a beautiful property, beautifully done. There's actually a lot more space to the property that's just completely blocked off, and I think that's fine. I think blocking space off in a property, especially given item limits, in a lot of cases is smart, and it gives you the ability to do really creative and really neat things, and I think this house really shows that. And actually, hopefully the next video I will be doing, I'll be showing you a Telgalen tower done by Hetera, and that house blocks off a lot more and is just absolutely stunning. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Show Tsarivas some love in the comments. This house is amazing. It deserves praise. And I hope you guys will check out my next video whenever it comes around. Thanks for watching.